Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Max's Perspective podcast. I hope you're all doing well. Today, we're going to talk about tipping. Which countries should you tip in? Why should you tip? Is tipping important? When to tip, when not to tip, especially in Western countries. Okay, so this one's pretty difficult, and you might know more about this than I do, but I'll give you my experiences because I'm from a country where tipping is big, and I am from South Africa. So in South Africa, people who are in the service industry get paid very, very little. So waiters and waitresses, people who just give you little bits of help at hotels or restaurants, or even just in shops, like they help you carry your bags or look after your car or something like that. All of those jobs, you are expected to give them some money. Most of the time, you basically just feel sorry for them because you know that their salary is nothing. The only way they really make good money or any money is from tips. If you go to a restaurant in South Africa, absolute minimum you would tip is 10%. But to be honest, most people do about 20% these days because, I don't know, it's almost like quite sad how little people earn there. So you have to, so it's almost like a charity thing. You just want to help that person. There's no real rules, but locals tip big, and travelers would be expected to tip big as well. And I think in a lot of like poor countries, if you go to a poorer country, third world country, you should try tip. Even if it's not necessary, just do your part, help those people. I think that's a good thing, especially if you get some nice service. Yeah, if they're trying hard, they deserve a little extra. Can be tiny, whatever, just do something. Don't just think like, oh, the rule is I don't have to tip, therefore I'm not going to tip. If you're a more privileged person, you should consider just giving a tip just to help that person anyway, because they are trying. I know in America, tipping is very big. Again, it's because the actual job doesn't pay very well. So if you're a waiter, you might not get a good hourly wage. It might be very, very low, maybe just a few dollars an hour. So they rely on tips to make their money. Other countries like England, you don't really need to tip. I think it's kind of optional, like really like most people don't. But maybe some like, if it's a nice restaurant, you might leave a tip, or you could just say keep the change or something if it's not much money. And I think that's the same with Australia, New Zealand. But again, I'm not 100% sure. If you go traveling to a country, you should definitely do your homework about this, and not just from one source. You should get a few different books or websites or ask people, get a few different opinions about this, because it can be tricky and you don't really want to, I don't know, for me, because I come from a tipping country, I feel very aware and sensitive about this. I feel like it should be done correctly. So when I went to Japan or Taiwan, Taiwan, Japan, and there's no tipping, at first it felt weird, but then you get used to it, and obviously it's very nice. If it needs to be done, then just, work it into your budget. All right. So yeah, just do your homework and let me know what countries you have had any tipping experiences with that I haven't mentioned. I remember last year I went to Spain and I was quite confused, like, should I tip or not tip? Because, Spain, like, people don't appear very, very wealthy or rich. Like, they look like the waiters and there's so many bars and restaurants everywhere, and you feel like, oh, these waiters and waitresses need a bit of extra help, but actually, tipping's not big there. So you can't be sure. Do your homework. And here's your question for today. Which of these tips about tipping do I say is the most important? Is it A, to always tip, B, to never tip, C, to always tip 20%, or D, to do your research before you go to that country? All right, good luck, everyone. All right, everyone, let me know what you think, and see you next time.